What's going on, everybody? This is Chaplain Anthony James of Marketplace Ministries coming to you live and direct. Just glad to be in the land of the living once again. Just waiting for some people to come in, and then we can get started. Just on just talking about community awareness, and community involvement. Waiting for some people to come in. Come on in. Hope everybody's Fourth was, whatever vacation, whatever holiday you celebrate. Hope everything was well. As for me, I just relaxed, chilled out, and getting ready for this work week coming up this week. Yeah, well rejuvenated. That's what I did for the 4th. Again, Marketplace Ministry, where healing takes place, and we reach out to the community, to leadership, to people that just need to hear the truth. Our slogan is real talk, and that's what we're about. Come on in, people. Well, I'm gonna get started anyway. Just recapping on, community awareness and community involvement, and we were just covering last week all about just being aware, and we just finished our fast, so that was pretty powerful. And just things are happening all over the place. God is allowing us to continue to bless what we are involved with and dealing with this protesting situation. What's going on, my brother?
Oh, nothing much. What's going on, Champ?
What's good?
Oh, nothing much.
Yeah, I already introduced myself. Introduce yourself.
How y'all doing, man? This is Keith Henry, man. Marketplace Ministries co-founder. Just guiding souls to God, man. Want to come to y'all guys on this Sunday. Give y'all a little bit of inspiration. With motivation. You know what I mean? And just tap in with you guys. Let you know that we think about you. We dedicated.
Okay. Well, like I said, it was just a recap on last week's messages, and what we're talking about: community involvement, community, awareness. Just talking about collaborating and different things of that nature, and just having conversation, man, because that's what this is about. Just conversating and opening people's understanding up and reaching out and letting them know what Marketplace Ministry is about, and pretty much what God is doing in our lives on a day-to-day basis. And we're just sharing experiences, you know what I mean, and trying to get to the bottom of what we can do to come together to make our communities, flourish in better ways. You know what I mean? Without all the rhetoric, without all the, we got a lot of protesting. We got this COVID-19, it's moving crazy. But in spite of that, God is still in control.
Yes, sir.
Just want to say that today. And I mean, for me, I'm excited. I'm excited about what God is doing, even in the midst of what's happening in the world. You know what I mean? We have to stay focused, and that's what Marketplace Ministry is about. We try to stay focused, and we try to stay prepared, preparing ourselves for the next move. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, but if you're in preparation, then you'll be able to sustain.
Right.
You'll be able to sustain. So what do you think about that, Keith? As far as, like I said, we just having conversation about what's been going on and how we are moving towards.
Hey, Chap, man, it's crazy, man. Even with us being here right now, you know what I mean? Like, this is a sign of where we at. You know what I mean? As far as, and normally we don't really come on Sundays like this, you know what I mean? But we just feel it in ourselves, and we've been reaping the benefits of it, you know what I mean? And I just, like I say, me myself personally in my life with the fast, with Marketplace Ministries. You know what I mean? I had made a post earlier on Facebook that, you know, it's a blessing to be have a mentorship program and a ministry. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's and I'm 37. You know what I mean? And that's a huge blessing. You know, I was thinking about that, and I was just like, thank God for trusting me with that. You know what I mean? And bringing the different people into my life. You know what I mean? That
Right.
give motivation and strength to do it. You know what I mean? And I'm just so thankful, and I just really that's why I really want to come on, because like I say, I believe that we are guiding souls to God, you know what I mean? And since I had my soul guided to God, you know, my life has been different, you know what I mean? And I owe myself, like I owe myself to extend myself, you know, like today we're extending ourselves, you know what I mean? And I believe, you know, somebody gonna see this and it's gonna get in what they need, you know what I mean? Like I say, you know, you might be young and you might feel like, hey, I'm too young to work on my dreams or whatever. No, man, you know, start on it, you know what I mean? Start, you know, God gonna start sending you people, you know what I mean? That's gonna really, you know, help you along the way, and don't get worried and don't get weak. You know what I mean? Endure to the end, man. Keep on doing, even when you feel like, man, nobody coming, man. It's not. God is testing you. You know what I mean? God is sending you through your trials and tribulations, so you can come out a better person at the end of. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I say, man, man, we've been on this journey, man, and it just been, man, words can't even describe it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, words can't describe it. I'm ready to get back on the next fast. You know what I mean? I'm ready. You know,
Right.
even though I was ready to get off the last one, but I'm ready to get on to the next one because I know what it did for me. You know what I mean? It's just like working out.
Right.
Like, you work out, you know,
Right.
your body be sore. Like, oh man, I don't. But then you look in the mirror, you see the muscles. Like, oh, okay. Well, you know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
Right.
So you know that's the same thing. Except with this, you have to look deep within yourself to see what it's doing to you. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you know, right. So you know, like I say, man, I'm just blessed and highly favored, and you know, I thank God. I thank Chap. You know what I mean? I thank everybody who really contributed
Okay.
to the walk. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's what's up. And, you know, just like you was just got finished saying, don't get weary and well doing. If you're doing good things, keep doing it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because you will reap the benefits from it. You will see, you know, and that's just what it is. You know, this young brother reached out. Well, I commented on his video earlier today, and he's a younger guy that he grew up in my town in New York, and he played basketball. I thought he was gonna go to the NBA. That's how good his was. He went to college, he did some things, but he didn't make it to the league. But God is choosing him and walking him through another path. But anyway, he had a powerful video on today about bridging the gap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when I saw it, you know, it was real professional. And I was like, wow, I know that guy. So what I did, I said, yo, you looking good, young king. I just made that comment like that. And then, you know, he hit me right back and he said, yo, man, he said, you know what? He said, he typed it in. He said, you know, the funny thing is, man, it's a crazy, not even a coincidence that you connected with me on my video, but I'm gonna just let you know what you did for me years ago. He
Mm.
took, you know what I mean? He took me back to how I meant to, you know, minister to him. Pretty much just gave him some good sound advice, you know what I mean, on some things that was transpiring with him while I was in the vicinity.
Mm.
And he just brought that back, and he just thanked me like that. And so we talked. I gave my number. We exchanged information, and then boom, we conversed on the phone today. You know what I'm saying? And it was real powerful, man. But I know what I'm praying for. I'm asking God to send people from the north, south, east, and west.
Right.
You know, and He's sending them. And obviously, right now they're younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because He surrounded me with people that's gonna run with this vision. You know, with the vision that He's placed in me, with the vision that He placed in them, and what me and him came up and realized is that we were saying the same things. We were talking about collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Bundle.
And that's exactly what's going on right now. We're collaborating, and
Right.
and God is, you know, and God he put something in my spirit today. He said, you know, it's like your ministry is gonna be like a puzzle.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But you need more pieces. You know, like most puzzles, if you don't finish that puzzle, you can't really do nothing with that puzzle. You can't show it to nobody because the pieces are not complete, you know what I'm saying, together. But you know, and I'm like, wow, okay, so he gave me that analogy to utilize what we're doing as like a puzzle. We got missing pieces, and people are gonna have to fill those spots in. You know what I mean? Vice versa. You know, whoever got a puzzle, we're gonna be that missing piece to your puzzle.
Right.
So that brings about a collaboration. You know what I mean? So God is really intentional in what he's doing. And I thank God that I see it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God that I'm paying attention to what his writing on the wall is. You know what I mean? Because I try to stay connected every single day. I try to seek his face, not so much of his hands. I know I need his hands for things in my life, but man, when you seek God's face, you seek it for counsel.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You seeking for understanding on what you're gonna do for your next move.
Right.
Because yesterday is gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we still eating from yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
So the bottom line is we need to continue to reach out to God and allow him to pour into us on an everyday basis, because he has new stuff for you. Just like when you wake up in the morning, it's new mercies. New mercy has been granted. So, you know, I just had to share that with this young guy. God is sending his people. He's lining things up.
Oh, yeah.
God is lining things up, even in the middle of all what's going on, even the distraction.
Right.
That's why, I can't be distracted. I cannot allow anything that's so easy that will beset me off of my path. You know what I mean? And so that's where we at with Marketplace Ministry. Marketplace Ministry, we thriving. You know what I'm saying? We this is a new ministry, but we ain't new in what we doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We've been at this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? All the people who's involved with us, it's gonna be some people that's been seasoned. It's gonna be some people that just come on board, and we're gonna get trained, and we're gonna train each other up. You know what I'm saying? And so we can move as one body, as one man. Right. And that's what collaborating is about. Collaboration is moving as one body. Not this section over here, not this section over here, because then that's weak. That's weak. But if we come together and gel, go ahead.
And Chap, one thing about that collaboration word, man, that word been really prevalent a lot. Like a lot of people really saying it's collaboration. You know what I mean? A lot of people really gung-ho on this collaboration. You know what I mean? And I like to say bundles. You know what I mean? Like say, for instance, I think we was talking about that, the bundles, the book, and you know what I mean, stuff like that. Just collaborate, putting two or more things together. You know what I mean? And that's what we're trying to do. And that's crazy. Like that, I guess that's the word of 2020, collaboration.
Right. Collaboration. Without that, man, what are you trying to do? Ain't no Lone Rangers. You can't be powerful, or you can't make a powerful impact or to be effective without it. Right. You know what I'm saying? We may see like Michael Jordan. We may see, Michael Jordan's brand. Oh, he's powerful. Oh, he got some people with him. Don't think he don't. Don't think Mike ain't got no people with him. But you just can't see the people that he has that's with him. But Mike got some people with him, man. So that's the only way he can be effective. He can't be effective by himself. You know what I mean? Now, at the end of the day, man, I just believe we have to understand what collaboration is. Collaboration is not dictatorship. You know what I mean? That's not what collaboration is. Collaboration is each one teach one. We learn each other's what we got going on, and we bring it together for the betterment of others. Right. You know what I'm saying? Collaboration ain't just for our personal self.
No.
Collaboration is for the community.
Yes, sir.
That's what collaboration is for.
You know what, Chap? I'm taking one step further. I believe that that's the missing link of what the problem has been. You know what I mean? There has been so many people trying to go at this thing individually that you can't really get no ground like that. You know what I mean? Like you have to go by tools, like you say. You know what I mean? And that's where we at with it. And I think, like I say, you hit something on the head. And I think you're the leader of what this is, of this collaboration movement. And it's crazy because you know, I see, and it's crazy because I seen this guy. He a rapper down here in Houston, Texas. You know, Trader Truth. He collaborating with he got like 10 other local rappers
Right.
down here under his belt. You know what I mean? He got
Right.
like they got like north, east, south, and the west. You know what I mean? And it's so crazy how like this same thing that you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have people, you know, just like he do. Like, you know what I mean? And it's a collaboration. That's what I'm trying to say. You can collaborate just like he doing. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, that's powerful. I mean, you can look at all Jay-Z, Kanye, you can look at all Khalid, you can look at all the successful people, Tyler Perry, TD Jakes, Oprah Winfrey, they collaborate.
Right.
They collaborate. They hold their own, but they still collaborate because they can't be effective by themselves. Right. You know what I mean? There's no way you can be effective by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can affect something, but you won't be effective like that. You know what I'm saying? It's strength in numbers. You know what I mean? It's strength in numbers. And so at the end of the day, we have to understand that there's strength in numbers, and we have to fall in line. You know, it's not about big I's and little U's.
Right.
It's about coming together for one common cause. You understand? Like people come together with God. That should be the common denominator. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's saying God, but everybody don't follow the same trend. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different separations in this thing, in this life we live, man. And that's why things are so haywire. Right. That's why things are so out of control. But when you get the people that's coming together, man, I promise you, you're going to find structure. You're going to find peace.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying? Because when you come together, you're not the only one trying to figure this thing out. You got other people bringing their ideas and their ideologies and their methodologies to the table. So now we say, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this, and boom, let's make it happen. You know what I mean? And we on one accord. And so that's where we're headed. That's where Marketplace Ministry is definitely heading. And we, you know, God is even talking to me, man. We're going to have some chapters through this thing, man, because he's just speaking to me so crazy right now. He's letting me know as a head. He's letting me know, like, listen, like, come on, it's time. It's time. Like, if you want to lead my people, then I'm going to give you the download. You ain't afraid to put it out there, and you will share with what I'm telling you to share, because you can't hold this stuff in. If God is giving it to you, man, you can't. It ain't for you to hold it. It ain't for you anyway. It's for somebody else. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to come together and start growing up and start maturing and start eating, you know, meat. Like a lot of people need to get off of that Similac. That Similac milk, man. I ain't no baby no more. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no baby. I'm a grown man. So at the end of the day, I don't want no Similac. I need some protein. I need some meat. I need something that I can, you know, devour and then do, you know, whatever. But you know what I'm trying to say. So it's all about learning and growing together for the betterment of others. That's what it's about. It ain't about nothing else. It ain't about flamboyant. It ain't about you're standing up there and trying to do your own thing. No, this is about us. It ain't about I, it's about we. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I appreciate the people that comes on and gives us props. Even if we don't, like I said, all we need is one person to show up to get it. And I promise you, it's going to be a domino effect. You know what I mean?
We have multiple people right now that already get it, chap. You know what I mean? There's a few people already get it. They already vibing with us and things like that. Like, you know, they already on to it. So, you know, like I say, man, it's now about just putting it out there. You know what I mean? Just putting the work out there, staying consistent. You know what I mean? And that's all. Like they gonna, once you build, they gonna come. You know what I mean? And that's what we get.
We sounded alarm. We sounded the alarm, man. I like to say, God, we're God's warning. You know what I'm saying? God is using us to be his warning, because we're warning the people to line up. That's what we're doing right now. Because as we line up, we're actually saying, come on, let's get it together, man. Let's get it together, because the next thing that hit, you don't know what it's going to be. You don't know. But if we're lining up, then God will speak to us and give us a way of escape every single time. So
Every
now,
time.
so now we have to say, okay, I'm gonna line up. Let me do what I'm supposed to do, not what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing what you have to do, then that's gonna be a problem. You're not obedient. But when you're doing what you're supposed to do, it makes things a little bit suitable. You know what I'm saying? You ain't
but
really.
yeah, it's like driving. It's like driving a vehicle with no gas in it when you do what you have to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't know when it's gonna stop on you. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
what you're supposed to do, you got a full tank of gas. You just ride.
Right.
Or you know you have to do it like, oh, I gotta get a gas, I gotta get some gas. Oh,
Right. You playing things close.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're preparing. So you're ahead of the game. Right. You're gonna be ahead of the game. So you ain't worried about not having gas because you already filled your tank up for the next week. Exactly. You understand what I'm saying? So now you talking about I have to do this, yo man. Now here come that stress. Yeah. Here come that undeniable stress now, and then now here come distractions now because now you put yourself in a situation. All you did was open Satan's eyes when you do that. See, Satan is blind, but when you start dealing with foolishness, you open him up to now add on to your foolishness. You know what I mean?
Really do it to yourself.
Right. Because a lack of understanding. My people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. You understand? And then it's not really, nowadays, it's not really about it's never really been. Knowledge is infinite, but the spirit is what God is saying we need. We need to connect to his spirit so we can move the way we're supposed to move. Because knowledge is so much information out here right now. Whoo, man. Yo, you got Google. Google is giving it up. You got all this other information coming from the north, south, east, and west. And God is saying, my people.
Hold on 1 second.
You know what I'm saying?
1 second.
What's that?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. But I'm gonna keep it going. But yeah, we have to learn how to listen to each other and to learn each other and to flow with each other. You know what I mean? I believe God is saying that. To learn your brother, learn your sister, so that way you can be of some assistance to them when it's time. You know what I mean? In and out of season, you have to keep going. You have to keep going, and you're gonna run across some things that you don't do right all the way. But at the end of the day, don't beat yourself up. Get back on your horse, dust yourself off, get back on, and allow God to bless you, because He'll send people to help you stay on track. If you're not on track, if you rolling with God and you rolling with the people of God, then He's going to send people your way to help you manage what you're supposed to manage. Because if you don't know how to manage anything, what are you asking God for? You know what I mean? A lot of times people ask God for different things and they can't manage. They don't know how to manage. They just waste. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, get around some people that's doing those things, that's managing their whatever they have to manage, and then you'll get help from other people with no problem. You know what I mean? Because I'm around people every day that's doing things bigger than me, bigger than things that I'm not doing that I want to do. So that helps me out. So at the end of the day, I'm not running around with like a chicken with my head cut off. I'm gleaning from, I'm extracting from people that, because if you're the smartest one in your group, get out. You cannot be the smartest one in your group. You can't be. There's no way, because then you can't learn. Then you can't learn, because God is not going to sit there and give you all this revelation. He's going to send people around you with more revelation than you. Right. And you don't say, oh man, you think you better than me because you know more than me. Nah, it should never be about that. It should be like, what you know is what you need to know. What I know is what I need to know.
Come together.
Right. You bring it together. You bring it together. It's never about, God says, do not covet anybody, the next man's nothing. Because a lot of times the person that God gives revelation to is the one who's seeking him, the one who's studying. You know, like you say, oh, why are you studying all the time? That's why I'm getting the answers. That's why I'm getting this. It's like school. You find a person in school, they ace and they tests. You're like, dang, how are they doing that? Because they study. They take that homework home and study. But here we go. Nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. But you looking on their paper in class. You trying to get an answer when you know you ain't been studying. That's why you have not learned that. So that's the same thing in life. You know, when you are lacking in an area, God says, if you lack wisdom, ask me. I'll give you wisdom. But if I send your brother to you, don't disrespect him because he's been studying and he's learning things. Ask him for help. You know what I mean? Ask him for help. But, you know, the bottom line, if you're not willing to study yourself, then you really, I think you're not going to do good in life.
Right.
You're not going to do good. You're going to struggle. You're going to constantly struggle because you're trying to cheat. You're trying to get over.
Or you lazy.
Right, or that, or you complacent. You instead of you studying, you playing video games, or you going somewhere doing something you ain't got no business doing. But then when it comes time to take that test, you like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. But you can get on that game and get 100,000 points in probably 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta weigh the options out. You gotta prioritize. You know what I'm saying? What's more important to you? You know, getting what you need to make your life better, or stay stuck. So now you struggling because of that. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to each one learn from each other, and let's grow. What you got going on, Keith? Go ahead, man.
You know, I ain't want to interrupt you, but I think that's a major issue, a major problem, because, you know, like you say, we would rather sit up and play this game, and most of the time we be young, you know, a teenager or, you know, young adult or something like that, and we don't have the right supervision or the right, you know, parental, you know, whatever, to tell them, like, hey, you know, to put us in a way of something that can be beneficial to us in the future. You know, I was just having a place with one of my little, you know, my stepkids the other day. And I was telling him, like, he was playing firecrackers, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, what can you be with playing with firecrackers? You know, what profession can you get out of that? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, well, nothing. I was like, see, this is why I don't get into it. He was like, why you don't play with fire? I said, because it really don't benefit me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm at a place where I have to see a return on my investment, whether it's time, money, anything I put out, I have to get something back. And just to see firecracker, I can see that when they do it. You know what I'm saying? But he's 7 years old, and he already saying he want to pop. He's not saying, hey, I want to practice on my basketball. Hey, I want to practice on my schooling. You know, none of that. Like, he's sold on fireworks. Like, he's 7.
Because that's because that's what he's being trained under. You know what I mean? And that's another thing, man. Me and my wife was talking about this earlier, man. They got a thing called Mission Triangle, man, where they help nonprofits do things. So you can build your nonprofit up. But it's a lot of people of color. I'm gonna say that. It's some other things that's going on too, but I believe that's going to change. My wife she's really sharp in that area, and she's actually helping me to understand that without training, man, you're not going to get the best out of what you're trying to do. Right. You know what I mean? And so Mission Triangle, man, if you listen, they'll put you out there. If you come there with a nonprofit thinking you just going to try to get money, man, they're going to set you up. They're going to say, present what you have. And most times when people holler, I want money, you know, when they say present, now they done put you out there. Yeah. And you're going to look crazy. You're going to look crazy because you know your stuff is ragtag. You know what I'm saying? You taped up like you got all kind of duct tape on your tail. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you have not understood what you're supposed to do. And I'm learning myself. Not to be raggedy, especially when you asking God to promote you to doing different things. God gonna tell you the same thing. Training. You need some training. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we as Black African Americans, I'm not saying all, don't get me wrong, but a vast majority of us, we don't like that training, man. We don't like that training. And some of it can come from home. Some of it comes from just not, and that's a trial and error. But when you get an opportunity to get that training, you must get that, because we train in so many other things. You know what I mean? Like, we play a lot of games. We play a lot of unnecessary games, because I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to go here with this. I've worked in sectors where I had to drive around Caucasians. Yo, guess what? I worked in group homes. I worked in places where I saw Caucasians, when they go wash their clothes, they go to the bank. We have to go to the bank. They all got a bank account. So they didn't get no money for their parents. They worked. So what they did, they deposit their money. So when we went to the bank, they knew how to go in the bank. I didn't have to go in the bank with them. And they was like 9 and 10 years old. 9 and 10. But I had to escort them, but they had a bank account. They had a bank account. You know why? Because that's how they train. And they took out only the money that they needed to wash their clothes. They didn't take no money out for nothing else, because that's how they were trained. You understand? And then you wonder why they advance.
Some people want, they gonna spend all their money on candy, you know.
Right.
Want you to spend all your money on candy, you know, and it's just like, I don't know, right? And I thank God, like, my dad didn't do that. Like, you know, like I said, I was 13. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna ask you for nothing else, 'cause you wouldn't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't
but I'm telling you, man. So that's where I had to, like, in my household growing up, my mother and them didn't teach us how to get a bank account when we worked. When we used to go pack bags, and make money. Man, my brother used to make probably $75, probably close to $70 a day, packing bags. We went as soon as the store opened. I ain't gonna say that much. I'm gonna say like $40. I'm gonna say like $40 a piece. He made more money.
Yeah.
Huh?
How old were you at this time?
We were like 13.
13?
But we were packing bags though at the grocery store.
Okay.
And we used to make enough money, but when we got home, we wasn't just directed to put our money up. My brother did. He put his money up because he tight. He knew how to save his money. Me? My dad, he had a bank account. He didn't say, yo, you know what? Give me $20 of that $40 and I'm gonna put it in a bank for you. He didn't teach us that. So, you know, that really, really, really kind of hurt, because now when we got older, you know what I'm saying? We didn't know what to do with money. I know I didn't. When I grew up and I had money, I just spent that money on anything. But like I'm saying, this is training. This is all about training. Just like now, Marketplace Ministry. What people come aboard, when people come to us, then you know what? We'll be able to help them and assist them on what we got going on, so that way we can move forward. You know what I'm saying? As one body. Because if nobody's trained, you ain't going to be able to move. You're not going to be able to move. It's going to be chaos. So we're not willing to go there with it. We're willing to, you know, just learn about what each other, you know, strengths are, and how valuable you are when you come to the table. You just can't come to the table with nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So if you learn how to, whether documentation or you're a good, you know, manager or whatever, you can manage things, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people to help understand, like, yo, the significance on how to come together as one body, but everybody can do different things. And that's how you build, and that's how you become solid. So, you know, my partner, I don't know what happened with his, you know, Instagram. I don't know, some difficulties happening, but hopefully he get back on. But I'm just speaking on this community, you know, awareness, and how we need to be on point with each other and helping each other thrive. You know what I mean? Because You know, it's time out for that. We have so many distractions going on right now, and that's all they're going to be. It's going to always be distractions. But if you're on point, and if you're paying attention, and if you are settled in what you're trying to do, then you'll keep doing it. And then God will send the people to you, you know, because we on some kingdom-minded business now. This ain't about just ragtag. We just jump out there and we got, yo, let's go. No, you got to have a plan. You got to have a strategy. And I believe the strategy is first get yourself together in line. And then when the people come, you can meet them where they are. And then we all collaborate together and we make this thing happen in the community. Because without that, ain't nothing going to happen. It's going to be the same old merry-go-round. And as a matter of fact, it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. So, you know, as we continue to go forward, Marketplace Ministry is moving in a direction where God is moving us to. And you know, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. It's like whatever we do together, let's make it happen. It's not an end to it, but it's patience is in this thing. It's long suffering, meaning that, you know, we have to know and understand the magnitude of what's going on. You got a lot of sick people that we're dealing with in our communities. Mental health, we're dealing with drugs, we're dealing with abuse, we're dealing with all kinds of negatives that can stunt our growth if we're not careful. You understand? And nobody's perfect, but listen, I'm going to know when you come to Marketplace Ministry who you are. You should know who I am when I connect with you. It shouldn't be like you just let anybody in this situation where you know that's crazy. You have to vet. Just like you're vetted, you can't go to a company and think you just gonna go fit in. No, they're gonna check your background. They're gonna check some things out about who you are. And if you don't cut the mustard, if you don't cut it, you're not getting in. You're not getting in. And that's just how Marketplace Ministry is. This is not a place where we're gonna lock anybody out, but we are not about no foolishness. We are growing, you know what I'm saying? And as God continue to give us the download on what we supposed to do, not what we have to do. Because when you have to do something, there's a problem. But when you're doing what you're supposed to do, it'll go a little better than, you know, it'll go a little all right for you. You'll have some challenges, but you can overcome those challenges more easier than when you have to do. When you're made to do something, that's because you're in lack, or either you're lazy or you just don't know how to do it and you won't tell nobody you don't know how to do it. Sometimes you got to open up your mouth and say, I don't understand, I don't know. Like I tell my wife, always telling me, there's no reason why you sitting up saying you don't know with all this information ready, available for you. You know what I mean? She gets on me all the time. Google, open a book. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. But then when I finally do it, I'm like, wow, this is easy. Because I just followed what somebody else told me to do because it's working for them. And that's what we have to do as a people. We have to, if you don't know something, if you don't understand something, the Proverbs 4:7, it says, in all thy getting, get understanding. You have to understand what you read. You have to understand. If you don't understand it, open your mouth and ask a question. That's how you learn. That's how you learn. You can't be shameful or, you know, inferior to what somebody think about you. Nah, this is really, to be honest with you, what somebody thinks about you is none of your business anyway. If you can catch what I just said, you know what I mean? Whatever somebody think about you is really none of your business. Because if that's not who you are on how they think, and don't worry about that then. Just keep doing what you do and make it happen to the best of your ability. And then somebody will come along. God will send somebody along to help pull up the edges on the ends on where you need help in. And, you know, and I'm a firm believer of that because it's happening to me. It's happening to me every day. You know, I'm learning. I'm leaving myself, you know, open as far as there's always room for improvement. So, you know, with that, you know, just collaboration is very powerful. You know, if you look at it with the right eye, from the right lens, you know, stop looking at it from sometimes your natural eyes don't see a lot of times. Sometimes you got to look with your spiritual eyes, and then God will open your understanding, and then he'll show you some things that maybe your natural eyes couldn't see. So you know, Marketplace Ministry, Chaplain Anthony James, you know, I appreciate you guys logging on. You know, you can DM us. You know, like I said, we're working on our page. It's coming really soon. So that way you can connect with us on my website, you know, menofvisionexposed.com, www.menofvisionexposed.com. It's coming soon. You can tap into my website and whatever you want to see, whatever questions you have to ask, you know, any prayer requests that you need, you know, you need some prayer, you need somebody to connect with you, to just talk with, you know, to help you walk through this thing. Because it's not easy. It's not easy. God never said it was going to be easy. He said his yoke was easy and his burden was light. That means you have to tap into what he's trying to do, what he's trying to say to you. And that comes spiritually. Sometimes you ain't going to hear it with your natural ear. You're going to have to hear it with the ears of your heart. So you have to understand that, you know, once you tap into what he's saying to you, now he'll surround you around people that's going to help you get to where you need to get to. But you have to first make the first steps. That means be true to yourself, you know, in all areas. Like, man, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you got to understand, like, wow, okay, you might have all the pieces inside of you. But until you admit that, man, hold up, this looks different. Hold up, I need some help. That's when God will start sending. But if you arrogant and you thinking you don't need nobody, then you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. And especially with the work that we're doing in the community, man, they need some sharp people, man. They need some peace, some people with peace. They need some people with some understanding. And they need some people that's grounded, that's not all over the place. That's the only way you're going to reach those people out in the street, out in the community. And then come to think of it, they're sharp too. If you come correct, then they'll line up and say, wow, you know what I'm saying? I really respect how that person is coming. And then they'll try to come and do better, to add on to what you got going on. And collaboration is, you know, it's not an easy thing, but it's doable. You know what I mean? Especially the times we living in now. You know, we have to come together. You know, we have to, from different people are all over the place. People are in one group, in different groups, you know, spewing out this and that. So we have to come together. We have to learn how to put our stuff together and for the betterment of others and help others. And, you know, but that's what I have for tonight. And like I said, if you need a prayer, DM us, you know, and put some requests out there. You know, y'all can ask questions, you know what I'm saying, about get ready to start the Zoom thing as well. So that way we can have some more collaboration, some more dialogue, you know what I mean? Not just me and, you know, my co-host, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, we can talk about some things and get some things done, you know what I mean? And really start working on these things and what we're trying to do in the community, because that's what it's about. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna sign off, and I'm gonna just say peace until the next time.